Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. Today I am going to do a quick review of the Brentford versus Arsenal game. If this is your first time at my channel, thanks for coming and checking me out. If you like what I have to say in terms of this review, then please feel free to like, subscribe, share. You can also follow me on my social media, which is sensible_gunner on Twitter and Instagram. Let's get into it. So the game started, and we found out that Aubameyang and Lacazette were not going to be included in the first team, nor would they be on the bench. What's going on there? We don't know, but we will find out for sure sometime soon, I'm hoping. It sounds like they're not going to be available for the next game. So there are obviously some kind of issues going on, whether it's sickness, whether it's bad behavior, everything that's speculated in between. Going into the game, it was an opportunity for Balogun and for Martinelli to start. We've been asking for them to be more involved in games, and so they got their chance. We also found out that Sambi Lokonga would be starting the game. And again, something that really excited about. He looks a great prospect and a great player, very comfortable on the ball. So I was excited to watch him play. The game started with Arsenal in good spirits, looking to press high, looked full of energy, looked like they were up for it. For the first 5 minutes, they were able to pin Brentford into their half, hardly allowing them out. Brentford struggled a little bit with their playing out from the back, not being able to play short and combine to break through the press, which led to them going longer. And every time they went longer, we kind of won the ball in midfield or in the defensive line, and then we were able to start an attack again. But we didn't create enough of an opportunity to score, and Brentford were able to come back into the game. Brentford actually had the better of the chances until they scored, and they put us under a lot of pressure too. With our own playing out from the back, they pressed with much more energy than we did, kept us locked in our half, forced us into mistakes, forced us into turnovers, and we're having a lot of joy. Their goal came on 22 minutes. Their first goal was a result of very poor defending, just the calamity of a clearance after a corner. People are saying the ball went out of play. It didn't. It didn't look like the whole ball was over the line, and then it wasn't cleared properly. And the ball came back, and Chambers shaped his body like he was going to force the player outside, but then positionally stood right in a space that allowed the player to come inside. Came inside, and then instead of Chambers going to ground to try to block the shot properly, he kind of half turned his body, left a little gap between his legs. Keeper, for me, can't be faulted for it. You know, once a player steps inside, you're looking at them bending for the back post. The defender, who should be covering that near post, didn't do their job. And Leno tried, but got beaten at the near post. Another individual error leading to a goal. We have to cut these out. After this, the game became stretched. Both teams kind of failed to dominate possession. Both teams failed to kind of create much of an attempt on goal after that. Arsenal were really disappointing for the remainder of the half. You know, they allowed the goal to kind of knock them out of their stride. They were very poor with the ball, really slow with the ball, too much passing backwards, too much waiting for the perfect opportunity to put the ball into the box. Really, really disappointing end to the half. In the second half, Arsenal were much brighter, dominated the game, created so many chances, but were very, very toothless in front of goal. 4 chances that hit the target out of 22 created is poor. we can all look back at Aubameyang and Lacazette and say, well, if we'd had one of those players in, they're more experienced, they have an ability to kind of read situations better, they're used to playing under such pressure, it could have been different. The fact is they weren't there. We had the chances, we should have made more of them. A team like Arsenal, who in previous years have been able to put weaker teams out into the League Cup, for example, and dominate championship teams or teams that, or lower league Premier League teams, seems a thing of the past, which is a real shame. One of the features of the game was how Brentford were able to bully and push us around and force us into things, force us into fights and scraps, and really took the quality out of our game. Fair play to them. Their game plan worked really, really well. We were outworked, we were outfought, we moved the ball nicely. It was all very nice, pretty passing patterns, but as I said, there was very little in front of goal. And then they scored again. Another individual error. People will blame Leno for this. I don't. I do think it should have been a foul. I've never seen, and I said this on my previous video, I've never seen a keeper have their arms held and it not be called a foul. But it seems like there's a new initiative by the referees to kind of let more go and to allow the game to be a bit more physical. It'd be nice if they told the players, because the players seem to be puzzled in the first few games that I've seen. Anyway, long throw in came into the box. Leno allowed himself to get pinned and didn't try to get out from behind, didn't try to call someone to come and take the player away from him, didn't do anything really. But the error for me was Mari. Mari's right there to try to win the header, did a really poor job of being out-muscled. To be fair, Ivan Toney was brilliant all game, very physical, did a great job of holding the ball up, did a great job of bringing players into the game, just made it a nightmare for the defense. Should have won the header, didn't win the header, and we reacted too slowly to a 2v1 on the back post. So 2-0 down, and at that point, took the wind out of the sails, game over. There were positives. I'm going to talk about two positives. The first positive was Lokonga. Sambi Lokonga looked assured on the ball, did a very good job, excellent at holding onto the ball, turning away from pressure a lot of the time, played very simply, seems to have a great decision-making ability, when to play near side, when to open up and play far side and switch play. Very neat and tidy. I think a few of his touches early were a little bit heavy, and you put that down to nerves, first Premier League game, but he grew into the game and looks like a real player for the future. Second positive is the chance creation. While we didn't take any of the chances, we created 22 chances. You think back to our poor period last season, at the beginning of last season, and we were creating maybe 10 attempts with maybe 2 on target. To create 22 chances is much better. It's more a sign of the good spell of form that ended last season. And so moving forward, I hope that we're able to sort out the striker issues. We're able to create the same number of chances, but let's hit the target a little bit more. That's my review of the Brentford versus Arsenal game. Brentford deserved it because they were more clinical. I don't think it was a poor performance overall from Arsenal. I think they started well. They allowed themselves to be knocked out of their stride, but then really put the pressure on in the second half. Created lots of chances, as I've said, and some useful patterns of play. But they definitely need to improve if they're going to be looking to pick up points in the next 5 or 6 games. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please feel free to subscribe, like, share. As I said at the beginning, you can also follow me on my social media, sensible_gunner on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And as always, Come on, you Gunners.